No amount of makeup even matters if your skin is not in its best possible condition. I've always emphasized skin over makeup, and I'm 39 now. When did that even happen? But now more than ever, I prioritize skin even more. So I'm gonna break it down into a morning skincare routine video and an evening skincare routine, not because there's a ton more product that I use at night, but there's a different sequence. I don't use the same products every single night, so I don't want it to be too much information to digest at once. A couple things I'm gonna get out of the way before I dive into the skincare routine, just so you have realistic expectations. One, genetics. Genetics plays a big role in how our skin holds up throughout our lives. There are certain skin issues that people will deal with, like darkness under their eyes, that could be genetic, things like jowling. So just know that you have to do your best with your nutrition, sun protection, your skincare, sleep, all those lifestyle habits. But genetics is also a factor. Another thing I want to point out is I have for years gotten neurotoxin injections in my forehead, and the last couple years in this area as well. If you're not familiar with what that is, it's brands like Botox, Dysport. Those are the injections that cause the muscles to not move as much, therefore not causing deep wrinkling in the skin. So it's affecting the muscle and not the actual skin. So it's not going to do anything to the quality of the skin. All it's going to do is prevent the muscle from moving so that the skin doesn't move with it and create deep lines. You can see I still have movement in my forehead, so I don't do it aggressively. I just kind of get a conservative amount, enough that deep lines don't start to form. But if you look closely, there are a little bit of like fine lines there. I'm okay with that. I just didn't want like deep 11s like my mom has. Anyway, I think I got all the disclaimers out of the way. No matter what, your skincare routine is very, very important. So I'm gonna start with morning skincare. By now, you probably know I started my own skincare brand in 2020 called Monday Born. You're gonna see 3 of my products in my skincare routine, and I just wanna be clear, I did not start a skincare brand for funsies. I didn't put my name and reputation on products to come out with stuff that's mediocre. And I can confidently say that my skin has looked its best in these last few years when I've gotten really serious about skincare education and just formulating a proper skincare routine that fits my skin. So in the morning, I don't typically cleanse my skin. Usually I'll just do a splash of water on my skin because I'm not oily. I'm a very normal, slightly dry skin type. And especially in the winter, I don't want to over cleanse my skin, strip it. So usually I'll just do a splash of water on my face and I'll follow up with Source. So I'll pat my skin dry, but not all the way dry. I leave it slightly damp and I apply Source. We came out with Source, our hydrating milky essence, at the end of 2020. And at first people were like, not really sure what to do with this product. And then once I took a little time to do some education and tell people what this is all about, it became our bestseller. So you can see it's got a very milky, fluid consistency. And when this goes on, I call it a drink of water for skin. It penetrates deeply. You get this instant boost of hydration. That's really what this essence is all about, is getting that hydration into your skin before you layer on your other products. So already my skin has that balance. Like I said, it feels like my skin just drank a glass of water. This has 79% Centella asiatica in it, pure Centella asiatica, no filler. And that has been used for centuries to treat scars, burns, other conditions in skin. It's very, very soothing. Next is my personal favorite product, the 7. So when we started formulating a moisturizer, I was like, there's moisturizers on moisturizers out there. So many of them out there. I don't want to create just another moisturizer. I want it to do something different. So you can tell it has that gel cream texture. And it's called the 7 because, oh God, it just melts. It melts right into your skin. It's called the 7 because of the 7 key ingredients, which include sea grapes, 2 types of kelp, ginseng, and then the remaining ingredients are squalane, ceramide NP, and glycerin. Like I said, this just, the way it melts into my skin, and I actually use this as my eye cream too, because those first 4 ingredients I named off, sea grapes, the 2 types of kelp, and ginseng, those are science-backed, studied for decades, and have shown to improve the density of skin. So it actually helps to firm up skin. When I put the 7 on, it's like my skin instantly wakes up. It just gives it this dewiness. It's not heavy, but it's so effective in properly hydrating and moisturizing the skin. Our oily skin types love it. Our dry skin types love it. It just, like I said, instantly kind of wakes up my skin. So I make sure, like I said, to put it under my eyes as well as on my lids too, because if it has firming qualities and if it improves elasticity and density in skin, why wouldn't I put it under my eyes? You know, as we age, our eyelids start to get a little crepey and droopy, and I've been using this for 2 years now on my eye area, and I haven't really seen any degrading in my eye area. It's held up really well. Moving on to vitamin C, if aging is something that you want to get ahead of for your skin, vitamin C is something you absolutely have to work into your skincare routine. Ours is called Frequency, and it's a balm. The thing with vitamin C is it can be very effective in improving your skin, especially for dark spots, hyperpigmentation, all that. But ascorbic acid, which is what's in here, is number one, it's the gold standard in vitamin C. Talk to any dermatologist, most of them will tell you that ascorbic acid is the most effective form of vitamin C, but it's also the most unstable. So if you ever see a vitamin C formula in a dropper, I personally avoid those. I've tried many of them. I'll buy it. It's like a pale color. I open it up and I start to use it, and then 3-4 days later, it turns like an orange, almost brown color. That means it has oxidized, which means the efficacy has been bumped down. Who knows how much? You don't really know. Once it oxidizes, it's hard to even say how much of that vitamin C power is still in there. And when you're talking about $150, $200 for a vitamin C serum, you want it to be working at almost maximum power the entire time you use it. So the two things that degrade vitamin C are air and water. Again, a lot of these vitamin Cs are formulated in water, and they're in a dropper where it's exposed to air every time you open it. With our balm, it's twice encapsulated, so it can be exposed to air all day and it's fine, and there's no water. It is a waterless formula. It was tested after 3 months being exposed to 3 different elements, conditions, and it on average maintained 94% of its efficacy. So people who use it see the results, see the hyperpigmentation fading. So after talking for 10 minutes about this, let me just apply. So I just really go in and kind of focus on these areas that I have sunspots. You can do targeted application, or you can do all over your face and then go in and pat it out, just blend it out. One other thing I do with this, and please patch test this if you're ever going to try this, because we're talking about 20% ascorbic acid in here. That's pretty strong. I put this under my eyes and in my brow bone. Why? Because vitamin C also is a very powerful agent in collagen synthesis, firming up the skin, a lot of antioxidant power in vitamin C. So this combination right here, I call it the firm formula. I really believe using these two together is what's kept my under eye area nice and tight. So now, because it is winter time, I normally wouldn't do this in the summertime. I would just go in with my SPF now. But because it is the colder months and skin just tends to be more dry in the colder months, I've been adding an oil to my morning skincare routine. This one is by Ulla Henriksen. I really like this one. It's the Hydra Barrier Nourishing Oil. I just do like 3 drops of this and then just distribute between my fingers and just start patting it into my skin. So the way you want to think of skincare is, you saw how I started with this essence first, right? That one was super fluid, very liquidy, that penetrates immediately into the skin. And then I layer on slightly thicker and then even more thick. And then you finish with an oil. The oil is what kind of seals in all the hydration and nourishment you just pumped into your skin. So you want something occlusive like this to seal in all the more humectant, more hydrating products. Oils typically on their own don't hydrate skin, but they are great for creating a barrier over your skin, because if you were to just put on Source, which is very hydrating, if you were to put it on its own and go outside, immediately you would feel like nice and hydrated, but throughout the day you'd feel like, oh, I'm starting to feel kind of parched. My skin doesn't feel as hydrated. It's because it's escaping. You have nothing to seal it in. That's why we follow with a moisturizer that helps to create that barrier. And then the oil, like I said, in the winter time is even better for kind of sealing everything in and creating that barrier that doesn't allow the hydration to escape. Are you still with me? I know this is a lot. That's why I broke it up into morning and nighttime skincare, because I want to make sure I describe the function of every product properly. And now a very important part of your morning skincare routine is SPF. I have two options that I love. I love both of these so much. I'll start with a non-tinted option. This is by Naked Sundays. I am a mineral sunscreen girly. This is non-nano zinc, 100% mineral sunscreen, and it is an SPF 50. Listen, the Australians, they know what they're doing with SPF. The sun is intense out there, and they're really good with SPF. So this, I'm just gonna put a tiny bit on my finger. You'll notice it's kind of like an opaque paste at first. For mineral sunscreen not to leave a white cast, that is impressive. Look at that. And I know I'm a medium complexion, but I've seen even on deeper complexions, this doesn't leave a white cast. It's actually really impressive. So this is definitely a top pick for me when it comes to SPF. The other one that I love using so much is Biolastin. This I've been using for at least 3 years now. It's their Hydra Tint Pro Mineral Sunscreen. This is, again, another mineral variety. This is an SPF 36, but wow. The slight tint that it has and the slight glow that it gives my skin, it's like a minimalist's dream come true. So this, I'll apply all over as a base once I'm done with skincare. And you can see it just kind of evens out my complexion and gives me this subtle glow. It just looks so healthy. This makes me look forward to wearing makeup because it is a beautiful base if you want to put on a little concealer, a little blush on top of it, a little bronzer. Man, do I love this SPF. My only gripe with this is that the tint, they say that it works on every complexion. Obviously, I'm a medium olive, and it works great for me, but I don't know that I believe it would work on a deeper complexion. I'd have to see it. They say that it blends in and it, turns into like a nice glow. Again, I'd have to see it, but for me and my range, my complexion range, this is an excellent option. So that's it for my morning skincare routine. It's not many products, but obviously I talked a lot because I wanted to explain each of them and what they do. But I get really excited to do my morning skincare because it kind of just wakes up my skin and makes me look really healthy and glowy. This was a lot of information, and I know skincare is a serious topic, so if you have any questions at all, please leave them down in the comments and we'll discuss. And stay tuned for the next one because I will be diving into my nighttime skincare routine as well.